So over the last few days, this leaked. What looks like to be the Quest 3S. Now a lot of speculation about this leak has everyone debating if this is real or not, but some reputable sources are relatively confident that what we are looking at will be the MetaQuest Lite, or now Quest 3S. But we will dive deeper than just the surface, and this leak may have just revealed something about the upcoming GTA San Andreas game. But that's not everything. From a studio that aims to bring all your old classics to the official Meta store, a huge Quest price cut, to a look at Meta's new scene script AI-based Passthrough. Strap in for this week's worth of VR news. So let's start by talking about GDC, the Games Developer Conference. Over the last few days, Meta has been giving talks to developers about creating content for VR. And while most of the talks were more technical information, there were some interesting takeaways. To start, they introduced something called Oculus Publishing Ignition, which would be of interest to anyone looking to create content for VR. What this essentially is a multi-million-dollar fund to help aspiring game developers create their dream game in VR. Meta will essentially fund the development of your game. Only caveat is there are a few requirements, like previous experience within the games industry, a relatively new team, and an original concept. Other than that, this initiative should bring some interesting new titles in time to come. Also, around the time of the event, we usually see some interesting and new technology, one of which is this, Scene Script, a look into the future of pass-through capabilities. Scene Script uses an LLM system like Meta's Llama to accurately analyse and understand what's present in the physical environment. It can accurately translate objects in the physical environment and convert them into digital meshes. But the interesting part is it understands what it's looking at. Like this chair, for example, is understood by the computer vision software that this is a chair. That explanation makes it sound more simplistic than it is, but this could enable some incredible features with interactions through pass-through. One example we have already seen, and that's this video, where a digital avatar is interacting with the physical environment. It will be interesting to see when we will get this for something like Quest, as pass-through this accurate could eliminate the need for boundaries altogether. But now onto the biggest news of the week, the Quest 3S, a headset that is a cheaper version of the Quest 3. These screenshots were a leaked Zoom call showing the potential designs for advertising material, and while these were almost certainly under an NDA, it looks like that this one slipped the radar. Both Sadly It's Bradley and Luna do have relative confidence that this is legitimate, and just generally looking at the graphics, nothing pops up as odd or unusual. So we will treat this as if it is legitimate for now, and go over what this actually tells us. I think most of us can figure out that this headset has a lower screen resolution and lower storage, but I've translated and upscaled the image anyway. I think clearly due to the thickness of the device, this will almost certainly have the old Fresnel lenses that were in the Quest 2. One thing that is a surprise though is the inclusion of mixed reality pass-through cameras, as it was previously rumoured that we'd only be getting a Quest 2 with an upgraded Quest 3 Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chip. But the fact this does include pass-through cameras does also align with last week's AMA from Boz, where he confirmed that mixed reality pass-through is going to be the new base feature for all Quests going forward. I'll be interested to see how pass-through would compare, as even though the Quest 3S is expected at a price of $299, it doesn't mean the pass-through will be compromised. In fact, even though the Quest 3 was a third of the price of the Quest Pro, the mixed reality was a clear improvement. But we shall see shortly enough, as it seems Meta could be making space for the launch of their cheaper headset, and that's because the Quest 2 has just had a price cut across the board. You can now pick up a Quest 2 for $199 from Amazon, and this is most likely a permanent price cut to help clear the stock ready for the shipment of their new headset. But the Quest 3S did reveal something potentially interesting. And where this image leaked on Reddit, I did a quick reverse image search on some of the aspects of the leak to see if someone had taken assets or photos from other places. And while none of that came back positive, it did lead me specifically to one of its images, this in particular. Now, I know this is a bit of a stretch, and I do have some more solid information after this, so bear with me. Now, someone pointed out that this image shows a striking resemblance to CJ from San Andreas, and while I'm not 100% convinced, they do match up pretty well. And so this could actually be one of the first leaked screenshots from San Andreas VR. But just to give a bit of reassurance once again that this game is definitely coming, Video Games Deluxe posted several new job postings yesterday, looking for game developers for their upcoming AAA VR title, which no doubt is GTA San Andreas, so rest assured this game is definitely coming. Also, we might be seeing some old classics come to the official Meta store, and that's because the modding publisher Flat2 VR is teaming up with Team Beef to create official ports that will come to the MetaQuest store. This could mean we get much more polished and bigger titles, which personally I can't wait for. Just to give you an idea what to expect, recently the beta from Tomb Raider recently came out from Team Beef, and so far it looks incredible. The last two things I want to talk about is the PSVR and another Quest update. The PSVR looks like it's essentially confirmed that it will be going the direct plug-in route, as opposed to streaming, when it comes to the PC compatibility update, and that's because the most recent update seems to enable access to PC connection. Only issue is that you will require an adapter to connect to a PC, which I'd imagine will be something official from PlayStation. With the closure of some PlayStation VR studios and the pause of manufacturing, it does seem confidence has been lost in regards to the PSVR 2, and that's probably due to the combined price of a PlayStation and PSVR. But this, as a PC VR headset, is actually a bargain. Ignoring the Quest because they severely undercut the market, VR headsets are still expensive, and a PC VR headset with eye tracking, haptic controllers, inside-out tracking for $499 is a bargain. But time will tell to see how this pans out. Last up is a new feature coming to Quest, and that's browser extensions. Currently in beta, browser extensions are rolling out, and the first extension we get our hands on is Password Manager. It does make me wonder though, if they roll out something like Adblocker, will extensions be heavily vetted by Meta? Time will tell. That's it for this week's news. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one.